Okie dokie. Hello, hello. I see we're coming in with a very certain energy here. There was a key word that you missed there. Was probably gonna stream all day Thursday. Probably was the key operative word there. You missed the key word there. What's sad is I did basically nothing on Thanksgiving too. And now here I am. Starting early on a Friday. This is why I don't get too particular with my schedule, because I continue to mess it up somehow, some way. And it's not even my fault in a lot of cases. Like Monday was like, let's go to the doctor's office. Oh, lol, they're not here. Let's go to the doctor's office again. So sometimes it's not even my fault, but yeah, because of Thanksgiving, I was like, I'm not gonna go to the office. I don't know if the office is even open. So the lack of commitment, I could start a little earlier today. Okay, the first thing I need to fix is a bug, because there is the ability to place bumpers on top of buttons. That is not a thing I want. Yeah, like so. Which I thought I had a fix for at some point, but then I broke things and messed things up. And well, plus it's Friday and I'm not gaming either. It's Friday and I'm not playing Borderlands 4, despite the fact that I really want to play. I really want to finish Borderlands 4. That's the weird thing. It's like I don't know how much I want to play Borderlands 4, but I want to finish Borderlands 4. And then I can watch the Eruption Fang videos about the story and everything. I'm invested in the story of Borderlands, which is why I want to finish it. And there are all the side quests too, and the side quests are, I think, hit or miss. At least previous games have been hit or miss. I think some of the side quests are my favorite part of Borderlands 3, but then some of the side quests were not, so. Wrong with Hytale releasing this year, but now the actual release date was announced and it's January 13th. Well, because I thought there was, they said in the next few days they're gonna say more. At least the glance that I did, not knowing Hytale at all, seemed to say to me that it would be soon, but not immediate. Okay, so where in the fluff and heck are the bumpers getting placed? Yeah, and I keep watching more and more videos that are like, you need to prototype stuff. You need to make sure everything's prototyped correctly. You need to make your code better so that you can actually make the game faster. And not just put the game out there. But I want to put the game out there because I want somebody to tell me whether the idea is good or not. Because that's the feedback I've never got either. And then I get scared and it's like, oh, if you put something on social media and nobody cares, then that's feedback that says nobody cares. But the scary thing being, I don't know that I've ever gotten a huge... Well, no, I lie. That's the problem, is every time I've gotten this signal, like, hey, go in this direction, it's like, go make a very simple mobile game that follow, like, make a match 3 mobile game or something. What was it? Because I was making something that was kind of like mappy, but I was using a certain tag on TikTok, and that tag was causing it to be seen a lot, and I don't remember what it was. But every time I get a game that is vaguely popular, as in like more than no views, the answer is like, go make an idle dice game. I'm like, I'm not huge on idle games. Well, and it's weird, because I'm like, I think I have got people that are interested in the game I'm making, but also interested in, like, what in the heck is this? Or interested as in, oh, I'm a developer, I'm curious what you're making. Not necessarily. Well, I don't know, because then there was something on like TikTok that was like, I don't know what this is, but it's cool. And I'm like, I don't know how to take that feedback. Ruh-roh. Yeah, because what was that one? It was just the TikTok, all the colored balls bouncing around. But I got feedback that the visuals look good. And I was like, well, there's not really much here. Yeah, this. Or I'm like, okay. I just barely post something and it's got... Exactly. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I like it. And I don't know how to take that feedback. It's just like... I guess that's positive feedback? Yeah, and then when I post the actual, like, here's... This is also sideways, unfortunately. Which probably really kills it. Again, it's one of those things of, like, I think I'm showing off the game too early and then complaining that nobody likes it. But then, because nobody likes it, then I don't want to finish it. Also, I am going to take a ad break. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. The grid space is not equal to null, and the grid space get objected space, and the grid space being the... Are we going back to the thing where the buttons are not actually getting placed on the board correctly? Because this is not actually... God. Just restart. Restart the whole project, and by that, go make a different project. Go make an idle horror game if you actually want to make a business that makes money on games. Oh, and I messed up the mouse and stuff too, so yeah, this is gonna be bug fixing for a bit here. Oh, I wanted to add like a black... I wanted to add something inside of the pipe so you can't see immediately through the fact that there's no bottom to the pipe. I guess that wouldn't matter if I do what I want to do, which is place the pipe off the edge of the board and then have the ball filter in that way. Wow, this is a much better angle. And I think not a... Because this, yeah, now you can actually see that these are flipping buttons, not just Okay. I was needing to fix this problem here. And to do that, I am determining if I click this object here. You suck. Why can't I just click a flippin' object? This one here should have a grid space. The grid space should have an object that is this object. It does not. You have no items and no selected item. What does this even mean? This is if you selected this grid space, which is the... Okay, so when I place the buttons on the board, which is probably down here somewhere, let's draw a hand of buttons. I need to put the buttons on the board. Put the buttons in the bag, little bro. It doesn't entirely work, does it? Put the buttons on the board, little bro. Vaguely, I guess. That is what I'm trying to do here. Spawn buttons, which is available positions. Spawn button. Get grid space. So then you spawn button makes a button, and then says the button info is related to whatever the button clone. Sets the color manager, initializes a board button at position, and removes the available positions buttons. The parent grid space. Okay, initialize board button? The thing that I was messing with, unfortunately. Oh, this grid space. Grid space. So that's saying it's parent, but then the parent also never says. That's... I don't... And then I had this scary thought of, like, I'm gonna put my entire life into a thing to never even be average at it. That just sounds so scary to me. The idea that I'm gonna work my entire life to never make anything that is even average. And that's the course that I'm on here. So is it items? What is the thing that I was looking at here? When it tries to spawn a button. It just gets the grid space. Okay, wait, no, go do that again. Okay, wait, no, spawn buttons? When you spawn the level, it spawns the buttons. Oh, wait, no, spawn from deck. Because then it draws the hand, and then it says the available positions. Which that seems to be correct. I know there's one that keeps getting set as, like, you can't put anything there, and I don't know what that bug is either, but... Yeah, okay, so that removes it from the available positions, and then initialize board button here. No, okay, it's when I go to check if there is something at the grid space. Get object at space. What is this finding? The selected item. That is what it's looking for. So the selected item is the thing that I need to set here. So the selected item for the parent object is now equal to a game object, this. Okay. This button. Okay, there we go. So now, does it make it so that I cannot place a bumper on the thingamabob? Not only did I forget that I didn't do this, but then I forgot again. Like, when I clicked the start stream, I was like, oh, I need to update the title, and then I didn't update the title. I said we're gaining traction today, I guess. Well, okay, no, this is, bug some upgrades. Because I still need to mess with the upgrade system. Especially because I was watching yet more videos about here's how to make a roguelike and stuff. And that was saying the important part is the builds. Of which that's not what I have. I just have the level of the buttons and stuff. You don't actually have a build that you're making. You have the implicit build of like, oh, okay, if I have a board that has multiple of a single, like, that has like a bunch of green 2s or something, then it's like, okay, that's what I'm aiming for, is getting more green 2s. So it's an implicit build, but I want stuff that's a little more explicit. Okay, yeah, I gotta set the default camera as well, and then I gotta figure out a way to get the pipe up off the board and out of the way. Yeah, and as I was talking with my coworkers, like, or have something that's not this pipe as your spawn point. I'm like, I don't really know what I would do, plus I like it. I need to just test if I click here, or if I click here, or if I click here. But if I click there, okay. Bug fixed. Yeah, it's so much more dynamic at this angle. But also not having the pipe covering up the thing is nice too. Okay, so that only took me 15 minutes to fix that bug. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, now I need to reset the camera position for this new camera angle, which is in here, maybe, or it's in the camera, maybe, or I need to separate these things, or I don't know. Is there a game I could look at that has what is widely known to be good code, to see what good code looks like? Because that's actually something I don't know if I've ever seen or experienced. Because it's always like these big projects for some kind of big enterprise company thing, or it's just me making my own thing. Because even at the jobs I was at, it was like me just making my own code. And there was not really like a mentor looking at it and saying, oh, hey, is this good or not? There's been a small amount of that at this job, where it's just kind of, oh, does the code function, and are you using methods? And the answer's like, no, not really. But some of that is... I mean, the problem is there's a ton of stuff that is like you need to go to a certain file location, and then those file locations, the items move around a bunch, so it's like you're just kind of spamming out the same method with a different file location. Could send you one of my games, but the problem is I don't know if I write good code. See, that's what I want, is like a... and that's the thing, is like I could mod a game, and that'll let me look at the code, but I've heard of... like... the only thing I've heard of is horror stories like Undertale, where there's no switch statements. It's all just one long if-else for the entire game. I'm like, do they have another example of like a good code? I would say something like Jonathan Blow, because him and the Thekla company, like he even did a talk recently, or I don't know about recently, but he did a talk about his code for his latest game. That was talking about efficiency and even showing like, okay, here's our engine. Why are you gonna think so hard? Yeah, but he made like this Jai programming language that also has like... Oh yeah, okay, this was as of July, so as of like 6 months ago, he did a full like talk. Yeah, and this, which I thought was neat, where he's like, okay, I can pull up this visual grid of like this method is doing a bunch of calls, and so I can say, oh, can I make that more efficient or something? Or like when he was saying like an intern added some code, and then he could see visually like, oh, something in there is not efficient, and then they can talk it out. And I'm like, this makes so much sense to me. It's a thing for like visual code efficiency. It makes a ton of sense to me. But the only thing I know of is like Unity has the profiler for saying whether something is doing that or not. But I also don't know anything about the profiler. I've not messed with that. I know that's a little more important for mobile games and stuff, and I think at some point I will probably need to worry about that if I have a billion objects on screen, but I don't know. It always feels like there's a more efficient way to do the code, and then I proceed to not do that, and then I don't know how to plan. I think that's something that has not really been taught, because like when you go to school, the teacher gives you a lesson plan. Or they just say, hey, go figure it out. And you're like, okay, I will muddle my way through it. But I think that's what game design docs are supposed to be. But even the game design docs are... it would probably be better for you to have Unity code. That's the engine you use. Yeah. Code would be for Unreal Engine. An example from Brainode would probably be better. I think he writes good code. Otherwise, there's a lot of projects on GitHub. Yeah, no, and Brainode's definitely helped me. Like, write some code for some stuff. Like, using events and stuff. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of stuff, like, here where you don't want, like, just variables in there. Because I don't even know what that is for there. Oh, it's the directions. Okay, yeah. But I guess that also makes sense, though, too. I don't know. Or maybe that should be an enum in there. Okay. I got it to yapping about. That's the thing. I just have that fight with myself there every single time where I just want to be hyperbolic and say, oh, the code I write is bad and I'm a terrible, horrible person and it's all like this game is never gonna come out and it's nobody's gonna care about it if it actually does. And then there's the more rational part of me that says, you don't actually know. And the problem with that is that that's not fully comforting. The right answer is just ambiguous. That doesn't, when I'm fighting with a black and white part of myself, to have the answer be, well, that could happen, but it might not. It really doesn't help a ton. Okay, all of those are fine. Where the heck is the start position? This is a variable that I'm not using. Start position. That's unrelated. Okay, so go back to here and do camera so I can set the camera's start position. Yeah, I've just scared myself so bad. The idea. It's just because I hit arbitrary deadlines of turning 30, I hit arbitrary deadlines of 10 years out of college, that now everything is hyperbolic. If I make a mistake, it's like, well, you've been making this mistake for 10 years, it's never gonna get better. Again, also not true, but... Okay, it's along the Z here by some amount, of which why am I doing a plus equals? Oh, I guess, yeah, because then I can position the camera wherever, I suppose. Oh, and then I just need to play the game, figure out where I want to position the camera now that I figured out the part to put the number, and then that should also be a variable. 4, 10, and 3? That seems like a very specific set of numbers. So 4, 10, and 0? Yes. Uh... So was there a camera position somewhere in this list? Main camera. And there was this offset, but that's offsetting it by 0. Oh, wait. What is the main camera's starting position anyway? Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Again, probably overcomplicating it for myself. Thinking that I needed to have some kind of variable or something, or if I just set the flippin' camera position. Okay, so now that is working. I also wanted to add some kind of thing inside of the pipe to hide the fact that you can see inside the pipe now at this angle. Let's see, I could use just a cover model, right? Instead of on top of the pipe, it'll just be inside of the pipe. And then we make it... okay, does not need that. And then we make it... Yeah, again, I keep thinking of getting back into YouTube videos again as well. Just because it just feels like a good way to advertise a thing that I'm making. Namely, this thing that I'm making. But do I want to advertise? I don't know why. Well, no, I know why I have a lack of confidence. And it's because every single... Again, the hyperbolic part of me that just wants to say every single time I've been confident, I've been wrong. That doesn't look any better. Doesn't really solve the issue. Oh, because it has... lighting. I was trying to just do black. Okay, can I do unlit? That's really what I'm looking for, is just unlit. Okay, you're supposed to be just darkness. That's really what this is supposed to be, it's just this dark thing inside of here. Yeah, okay, it's still lit. I want a straight up unlit. Does that do what I want it to do? This also looks kind of unlit. Oh my goodness, that is not... That's not the right answer. Whoops, that is something else entirely. Okay. I have started to get into the habit of actually getting clips after a stream. I think I do need to make it just slightly smaller. Or I don't know about a habit, but the past couple streams I've done like just a little bit of, hey, I remember to actually press the clip button. Let's collect those clips. Was that actually sticking out or not? At least now I know it's not. Okay, and that looks like it's unlit now. Okay. Yeah, so this is somebody who's just been cranking out random songs. And now I think we've finally gotten into stuff that I have heard. Oh no, I lied. I don't know. That still looks pretty lit. Game view. There we go. I do need to turn up the quack on there. It actually does work as a, like, hey, look at my message. I think that's how you're using it. It does actually work. I can hear the quack just slightly enough that it makes me look at the chat. Might help me for projects for some Minecraft modding. But I wouldn't say it made me write better code. Real improvements in coding was probably when I wrote programs other than an engine or something minimal like Pico 8 or whatever. Using processing or monogame based on Microsoft XNA. Yeah, I've done... That was what I started with in college was XNA initially. Before I found Unity. And then I've just been on Unity ever since. Probably should have played with Unreal or done something else at some point, but... Okay, so no, it's not lit. That is just a dark void. What if I reposition it down further into the pipe? Maybe that'll make me feel better. So if I just shove this down into the pipe here, you can't even tell at the angle that it's at. I was trying to see if that actually exposed more of the pipe on the inside, but I guess not. Does that look any better? No, not really. Well, this wasn't a problem with that other camera. This is just making me say, don't use a flippin' pipe like this. Use some other object as the spawn point. Or just put the pipe outside of the edge of the board. That's the other answer, is to put the pipe outside of the edge of the board. For now, though. Okay. Those are the most useful for first coding improvements, is writing bad code. Using that will make the entire project unworkable, as everything only uses code. Well, and like I said, I also don't know if it's just me being hyperbolic as well, as like, this code isn't that bad. But it's like when it takes me a little while to find like how I'm doing the camera positioning and stuff, that's making me say, okay, I should change it. But then the act of like changing it is also going to be a ton of work too, so yeah, I never know exactly. Okay, that looks like it's at the bottom of the pipe. So, sure. I guess. Like I said, I don't know if it looks all that much better, but now, okay, so I fixed the one bug there. Did I put that on my Trello? Okay, that was a Unity issue. Can place the bumper on a button I fixed. I did add color palettes. I've added some more color palettes. Hover over a hole raises a flag animation? Oh, that was the, to add an animation for a flag raising when you hover over the hole, but... Okay, so that was another small polish. Okay, at least I got the one bug fixed. That was a good idea. Now, yeah, then I get scared of like, it's gonna take a lot of work, and it's like, that's the whole point. You're making a game, it's gonna take a lot of work. So, there's not like a rune font, is there? Because I'm like, there is like wingdings and stuff, but... Yeah, okay, that's somebody doing No, I want like straight up runes that I don't recognize kind of thing. Yeah, but then that's in a different font style. I guess this is closer to like whatchamacallit. This also looks like half of these are not even don't even exist. Okay, maybe we just don't worry about if it has a rune on it or not, because it still needs just the tooltip. Oh yeah, that's a big thing I need to add. Okay, so maybe we don't worry about a... oh, let's do other objects. That's another thing I should add as well. Thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I I don't know why there's an echo in here. I was gonna say I haven't been on TikTok in a while, so I haven't seen if there were, those are some fun runes. But I haven't seen if there's been updates for the game. The pixel art card game. That's not the name of it, right? It's something else entirely? That's an old game? Candlewood, there we go. Yeah, I played some kind of demo of this and enjoyed it, and then ran into some cards that didn't have art and stuff, and was like, okay, I think that's kind of the end of the demo. It's clearly still work in progress. Okay, just head down doing updates and stuff. I love the pixel art so much. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's gonna take me a bit to figure out exactly what I want to do for... Yeah, maybe I should do like something like gems or something. I just figured doing runes would be an easy thing to... This is too cool to me. I also don't know if this is usable, but... You've started the Slime Catcher 2000. What's his face? Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Inators. the Sliminator. Yeah, okay, this is somebody who did a bunch of really crazy looking runes. Which is neat, but... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I should just... prototype. I'm in the prototyping phase. I need to prototype the game. So... I think you can tweak search filters for DeFont. Yeah. I've messed with DeFont. I think that's how I got this font to begin with. And then realized, oh wait, this is a very popular, like, Google font and stuff too. Which it worked out, because then I'm like, oh, I could just straight up use the same font on the itch.io page. Okay, what is Backpack Hero? Yeah, they don't have, like, rune stones. They just have, like, the mana. Okay, let's not play Backpack Hero, as much as tempting as that is. But they do have, like, gems, I think. So maybe that's what I should start with, is just doing some basic, like, gems instead of trying to make it have, like, a rune on it or something. So we'll just do rune stones without runes. Yeah, they had these different kind of coins, which I did make, like, a little poker chip, but I have buttons that are spherical. I have a ball that's spherical. I'm like, okay, the upgrades, I don't think I could do yet another circular item. Oh, I guess they do have some kind of rune stone there, but yeah, it was these kind of like mana stones. Is what I was thinking of. That and those other... They've got those other gems. Yeah, these. Which again, I have something kind of octagonal, so that's fine. Okay, I can just use that as the kind of upgrade item. But yeah, that's the plan, is that I have all of these buttons that have a color and a number. And then I want to add some kind of upgrade item that changes the way you score these things. In terms of like, oh, orange scores better, or blue scores better, or fives score better, as the very basic things. And then, yeah, and the reason the reason I'm saying it in the terms of like something scoring better is because I think that's the most interesting jokers in Balatro and stuff. I think the most interesting items in a roguelike are the things that change the way that you play. And stuff like a certain color scores better vaguely changes the way you play, but I think it's the, like, at least here when it's scoring sequences of buttons, of colors and numbers and stuff, that it's just a matter of saying, oh, palindromes, so a 1, a 3, and a 1, and you score those and you get points. But then it was the, how do I visually show that? And I'm thinking runestones right now. Some kind of, these do look quite large. But yeah, when there are updates for Luno Land, I would love to test it and play it some more. Not that I need to put yet more indie games on my list of stuff that I like too many things. I like doing too many things, and I let myself get pulled into so many different directions. Okay, I think I do need to shrinkify this to be a little more... Are the buttons model-wise, are they shrunk at all? Yeah, okay, 30%, yeah. Because I think the original model has it, like, way down in there. I guess technically it's not, but... Spare yourself? As you're saying, don't play the game? Or you're saying, don't put more on the list? See, but then I can also say, hey, it's research, I'm playing another... another deck building game or some other roguelike or something that is vaguely research related, I suppose. I think I've been doing enough of that, though. I need to actually make a thing. Well, I don't have to make a thing, but there's that part of me that has to make a thing. Also, I did see that it's ads. I guess I can scroll through TikTok for a minute. Okay. Dang it. I did get a little distracted with TikTok there. And it wasn't even game dev. I was hoping that it would give me some kind of game dev or something, and it would just... I think I've got too many follows on TikTok that it's just random stuff. Okay. Yeah, I started liking VTuber clips on my kind of game dev account. Now that's kind of turned into like a VTuber like account. It's supposed to, well, and it is a good chunk that's game dev related, but I think game dev just doesn't get posted as much as VTuber clips. So. Okay, I was clearly very distracted. I was gonna... I shrunk this, right? Yes, I shrunk that. Now I needed to dump other items on the board. Okay, because the buttons, yeah, holes, buttons, pipes. Those are all particular. Okay, yeah, give me a button, because it really should be items, and then more specifically buttons. Yeah, because I did also want to make it so that they are possibly bowling pins instead. Or, you know, like tiny bowling pins, basically. Wait, they've got like tabletop bowling, right? Yeah, and then here I am thinking of marketing ideas, like, oh, I could get a little tabletop bowling thing. I could get... Yeah, okay. Oh, it's even 15 bucks at Walmart. It's not even, like, expensive. Oh, there's even a cheap version that is just... This just looks cute. This doesn't look difficult. Yeah, I was like, you need like a lane. This looks like you're just kind of... That looks so tiny. Yeah, the whole point of bowling is that you're so far away from the pins that they're hard to hit. This looks too tiny for that. Does it all come with the bowling lane? Or can I get like just a set of tiny bowling pins? Okay, but at least there is a... Oh, there. Yeah, okay, for $5. Yeah, that was something I was thinking about today, of doing like a, since I was thinking about doing YouTube video stuff again, I was thinking about doing a video of, like, theming in games. Because personally, I like a game that's a little more themed. I think that's one of the secrets of Balatro, is the fact that all of the cards are, like, physical, like, could be physical cards. Or, like, they're inspired off of the idea of, like, oh, the card didn't print right, or the card got ripped in half or something. Because I was thinking, it was like the Dominova game, which I thought was really neat gameplay-wise. I think is just a little, like... Yeah, I think and this is something that I'm not a huge fan of on Loot Plot either, is that the items are all just random things. Like you've got a skull and a bowling pin and an axe and a balloon and a cactus. I think that's kind of a trend, that there's roguelikes just with random trinkets as upgrade items, and I think it's a little more fun when they're a little more thematic. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun to sit and compare and say, okay, these games that have kind of random upgrades compared to these games that are fully thematic. Does that affect the sales of the game? Because it's something I want to do with this, is that all of the things that I make for this could be like small physical things on a tabletop or on a board, so that it feels more coherent that way, instead of and I guess there is a little bit of mixing of like sports metaphors that might be a bit confusing if you've got bowling pins and like a pinball and like a golf hole or something. But there's mini versions of all of those things that kind of go together too. Okay. The thing was, I don't want to make separate. I want to just make the board have a set of items, and they all have a grid space anyway. So it's just this set of buttons. So spawn buttons. I was gonna say, at some point it's adding to a list of buttons, and that list of buttons is being used for something, right? Or no? Do I just have a list of buttons at some point? I guess I just have a list of buttons. Because this, yeah, all of these are similar. I guess they're not the same. They're slightly different. There's a lot of similar, like, initialization of stuff. Oh, and then this was the... I don't remember. One of these is like spawn button, one of these is UI button, then one of these is something else. And they're all being used for maximum confusion. Okay. I was... just gonna give up and say... let's just do spawn runes. We'll call them runes, I guess. Rune stones. Or gems. Not really gems. I don't know, or worry stones or something. Slime catching program is working great. You're rocketing up the scoreboard there, if you weren't already. Okay, is there another word for like the... Oops, oopsie daisies. No, I wanted to keep that one. Yeah, okay, it's giving me this as opposed to like... Oh, those are specifically... Well, okay, what is the word for like a small stone with... Wow, they did like... As much as I've seen random fidget toys on Instagram, which is always weird to me, because I'm like, I'm not the kind of person that fidgets a lot. I don't know, I guess I have this clothespin here as my, like, fidget toy, but... and I guess I have these juggling balls next to me as, like, a fidget toy, but I'm not somebody who gets into fidget toys. I don't know why Instagram just keeps giving me fidget toys. Oh, that's neat. You can just make it out of clay. There, this. This is very much the vibe that I'm looking for. Is there a word beyond worry stone? Yeah, some of these just like random stones with like a little word on them. That's adorable. Okay, not missing a single slime anymore. Every 5 minutes it's automatically writing the command. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're directly on cooldown, catching every single slime you can. Because there's also like poker chips. I guess it's sort of like a tile. I don't know if there's a word for the kind of thing that I'm... Yeah, okay, so these are worry stones, is what they are. Okay, whatever. So that can bugger off. Okay, see, it's like, okay, wait. Bunnock, I guess. I'm thinking of specifically the one thingamabob in the one movie. Okay, I guess Brannock then? Bunnock. Dang it. Shoot. What's the movie with Charlie Cox and Claire Danes? And it's a fantasy movie with Michelle Pfeiffer as a witch, and it's got Mark Strong as a prince, and he plays Septimus, one of 7 sons. And the movie also has Robert De Niro in it, and it's called... How was I able to remember all of that? Okay, so Charlie Cox, Claire Danes. No, it's gonna get really mixed up with. Right? That's her name. Mark Strong. This should be enough, right? Stardust. There we go. Okay, but in Stardust, he throws some runes up in the air. Okay, so give me Stardust. And then like runes or something. There's a scene where he throws some runes up into the air. This. Oh, that's specifically a Stardust rune set. On Etsy. That's crazy. Okay, but it just says a rune set. I just didn't know if there was another word for these little, like, handheld runes. Because that's kind of the vibe I was thinking, is, like, a little handheld rune stone. I guess maybe you could do handheld rune stones. It feels like there should be a word, because when I say rune stone, it comes up with those big things. Yeah, okay, it's the Kensington runestone or something. Yeah, but this, like I said, is kind of the vibe. But is there a word for the tiny version as opposed to these giant rocks? Because this comes up with these giant rocks all the time, too. Yeah, Norse runes is just going to give me the actual symbols. I guess you just have to look up handheld. Or tiny runestones or something. Kind of crazy to me that there's not a word for... Oh, pebble runestones. Maybe that's the answer there. Although, yeah, like I said, I don't know if I want to mess with runes specifically. I don't know how much like cultural appropriation that is, basically. So... Okay, but it's not what I'm doing anyway. Oh, and I guess, yeah, because it doesn't have, like, text that it needs to. Okay, so we'll just add another one. Do I call it runestone? I mean, it's better than Worrystone. At least it's shorter, and it is kind of the vibe. Okay, then this is just getting into the like copy pasting the methods, which is like, okay, no, you don't want to be doing that because that's defeating the purpose of methods and stuff. Yeah, it's just getting into the like, I don't know that I'm doing this right. Actually, give me like holes instead. Because the buttons, I've done a lot with the buttons. This is closer to like the holes. Basically, yeah, okay. And then here, because I most likely want to have a runestone item. I don't have the items. Yeah, because I also want to do the pins as well. Or a pin, rather. Okay, do I do the same? Okay, runestone. And then it's going to be spawn a runestone. Yeah, the problem is this is feeling more and more like it's going to be that I'm just copying and pasting the stuff in here, and that's not entirely what I want. Why is spawn hole different here with the grid space thing? What was hole position there? Why do I have another bool? Oh, was this spawn runestones? Yeah, because then I'm also wanting to do like spawning the pins and stuff on the board as well. Again, whatever. I can just make it wrong. Make it and then you can make it good. That's what Instagram keeps, or that's what social media keeps telling me. You can draw a circle that is not connected, and then later you can connect the circle. Yeah, first you make the thing, then you can make it good later. I don't think that's entirely right with game ideas necessarily. Okay, whatever. It's not a good way to make a game. Yeah, this feels more and more like I should have items. Because they're all going to have their own grid space stuff anyway, but... Okay, but like I said, I'm still in the prototyping phase of like, okay, let's get the... like the build stuff going. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself up until this becomes the actual project. Yeah, okay, because all of these are different. I guess not on the bumper and the pipe and stuff. Okay, and the runestone is not actually going to need to be... Yeah, okay, this is doing the whole position to, because it's something particular in that. Yeah, then buttons are also particular in a certain way. I don't think I made this. And yet another integer. There, be happy. I put a comma. It's very unhappy. Spawn runestones. What was the one I was just messing with? Spawn runestones. Spawn bumper. Okay, spawn runestone. Yeah, I guess we'll see if this even does right positions or not. And then I don't want it to follow the mouse. I don't think I ever wanted to follow the mouse. Because that's the other thing too, is like, do I want these to also just essentially be a part of the deck and then roll into the deck? Oh, it has been an hour. I guess I could sit. Okay, now spawn level also has an extra thing for spawn runestones somewhere. One of these is spawn runestones, right? Okay, go to definition. And spawn runestones right before spawn deck. So now here, spawn level. Alright, spawn pipes, bumpers, holes, but not buttons? It's probably not runestones either. Oh, spawn from deck. Yeah, okay. Because I think I want to do the bad idea of putting the rune... No, you know what? For now, let's not put them in the thing. Hello? Is that... I'm not familiar with the phrase, if that's a phrase. WSG. I was gonna say, what's good, son? But that's... The letters are out of order there. But, I am doing pretty good. Got a slight headache. I think my sinuses are still done goofed. Which, I don't know what I want to do about that, though. Although, hopefully I will have a... visit with a primary care physician soon-ish, and I can ask them about my sinuses being weird. Because I've never had sinus issues before, but... yeah, what's the sun? Good. But I am working on... and I was working on the camera and stuff. But I could go over to here and say I'm working on... I'm still trying to figure out how to say this. But a dissatisfying puzzle roguelike. It's weird because it was inspired by Rube Goldberg machines. But then I've started to not use Rube Goldberg because it's both A, long, and B. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with it. But the way you play the game is you're trying to score sequences of colors and numbers using a ball bouncing around. So I'm saying a marble machine now, or at least the way I was describing it on the Discord that I joined was that it was a grid-based marble machine roguelike. Well, yeah, and I think there is a difference between what you say here and then what you say on, like, the Steam page. Like, I think the Steam page I will do grid-based. No, not grid-based. Because that's the thing. It's like that you can see visually. When I say it just on a Discord, then it's like, okay, well, if I'm not showing that visually. Oh, I want to score all the ones. But I guess we'll go for the oranges instead. I guess I could score that as well. Yeah, and some of the summary was messing with Claude to see what it said for how to summarize the game. But so that is the main overarching game. I've also described it as combining Balatro, Luck Be a Landlord, and Railbound. But yeah, some of these other updates, I was messing around with these ×2s, messing around with a different camera angle. Oh, and I never did figure out the issue with mobile, or with the, because the web version, if I play the web version on my phone, it does not take the input. Well, no, I think it's a lie. I think it does take the input for the pipe. It just doesn't take the input for the... Yeah, okay, that's another bug thing to mess with later, but... Okay, again, the layering being... I'm trying to work on the upgrade stuff. I said bugs and upgrades, so I'm working on the jokers, essentially. The... Curios and Replicat, the... What is it, like essences? In Luck Be a Landlord? The Nova cards in Dominova. I don't think there's actually... I'm working on the passives. Yeah, these extra passive items. That's what I'm working on. I think I have some semblance of this, and I have some semblance of adding stuff to the board, removing it, and moving it. Both of which I'm kind of getting rid of the ability to remove stuff and to move stuff. Or at least putting that as like an extra ability, because like the removals I think are okay. It's just right now they're overtuned to where you can remove everything on every round and just really hone your deck immediately. But oh, at some point I will have to add the word deck builder there too, because that is kind of a thing, is you have your board of buttons that you are switching things in and out on. But yeah, this stuff, these overarching items there. Yeah, and I vaguely started on some kind of rarity system too, but it's a little weird and a little awkward, and I don't know if it's a good way to do it. It feels weird and it feels bad to me, so... Because it's just a switch, a switch case of like, okay, whatever this happens to roll, here's what the number is. Which just doesn't entirely feel right to me. But I don't know. Because this also does let me tweak it specifically to say, oh, if I want a number to show up just a little more frequently, I can tweak it like that, but it just seems very hand-coded. And maybe that's okay. I just get afraid, because that's the whole point of code, is that it's not by hand, essentially. Oh, so did I make it so that I can actually watch the thing explode when I try to add this? I think so. No, have faith. I coded it perfect the first time. I think that has happened. I think I could count on my hand the number of times that's happened. Okay, I did not put a number in, so that would also affect it. So number of runestones, like 5. That's gonna be way too many for... Because they're all gonna clog up the board there too, if it actually does it. I didn't think so. Yep, that was one of those immediate, like, this didn't get set right. Who didn't get set right? It's trying to get the grid space on the runestone. I actually don't know if I got that far, did I? Again, I keep trying to jump the gun. Yeah, I think I would do... I keep trying to say, what is the other thing I'm good at? Jumping the gun. That's not really a good skill to have, though, is it? Grid space. You do need a grid space. Was there anything in here that needs to be set? Like, so if I look at button, what does your grid space look like? All zeros. Okay, so maybe not. So that answers that question. So maybe? Maybe. Cross my fingers, cross my toes, cross my arms, cross my legs. I do that sometimes. Especially when it takes forever to load. Excuse me, I just fixed it. What are you complaining about now? Again, I jumped the gun. I didn't read the code that I wrote and just assumed it was a good, despite the fact that every time I've done that, it hasn't worked, so. Yeah, no, it's the top level object. Runestone is an object, right? I did add that, right? Yeah, I added runestone as a thing. So then it's trying to make 5 of them. It wouldn't really matter how many it is. I don't really want to take the... Oh my goodness, it's only 6:30. I forgot I started so early. So do I take the ad break? I think I'm good. Again, I'm not doing anything super interesting, so... Especially when I'm bug fixing. Yeah, the best part is when I solve the problem during the ads and nobody sees me actually solve the problem. So, who doesn't have a thing? Runestones? Because, like, if I look up this, I don't think I have, like, a initial setting of the thing, right? Yeah, I'm not actually saying, like, make a new list of holes, right? Yeah, okay, so that shouldn't be the issue. So... what's your problem? It's the same as the other stuff, and it's got the grid space now. And I know that's a thing. And now I know that it has a grid space. Unless the spawn position is not happy. That's getting passed in here, which is the list of available positions, which is the other. Unless I ran out of available positions. That shouldn't be it. I very much should not have. I think I'm only doing, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm doing literally half of the board, less than half of the board. There's 25 spaces. Oh, no, more than half the board. Because there's 25 spaces, I'm using 1 for the pipe. It's 24 spaces, so then 12. So yes, half of the board spaces are buttons. Meaning there should be at least 5 spaces for the runes. But you're not telling me at all what has exploded. That is funny that Stream Avatars decided to give people the biggest, most obnoxious guy. The guy who is just a door. Everybody else is little characters, but then it's just people that are just a door. Okay, so is it here? Who's null in this instance? There should be available position. I guess I could attach the thingamabob to this. Okay, well, we just... yeah, you have to return something. Okay, well, this'll make sure that I have a runestone, so it should just put a runestone in the world if it's not in the right spot. Yeah, and then I have to restart the game every time because of the way I make this Yeah, it's because I don't do level design heavy games. It's always like confusing programming design games. Okay, so here, all y'all are at 8, 6, 6, 6, 2, 4. Oh, you are getting placed. Interesting. Okay, so you're at 0. You should be getting placed at 1.3. Wait. Didn't I already do that with the... Here. Hey, I already moved you up to 1.3. That's not here nor there. You would need to be at 1.3. There we go. Okay, so now let's try that and see if it gives me some runestones. Hey, that's way too many upgrades, especially if I want them to kind of act as a wall that also has an upgrade. Okay, that's a good start. So now we're gonna do this just because I very much think it's get grid space. It's the issue. Although it's the spawn position is correct. It is picking from the list of open positions and putting it in an open position. Yeah, okay. So that means now I have a list of runestones. Yes, okay. So why is get grid space unhappy? Because the runestone has a grid space. So what is it trying to figure out here? The spawn position does... So it's saying that there is no grid space at that spawn position? It's very much spawning on top of the thing that should have it. A thing. Okay, what am I even trying to do with this? Oh, this is from the hole. Again, I'm copy-pasting stuff from other things and not putting in the time to understand why I was doing that. Coding is only hard if you just don't spend the time to understand it. Or the other way around. It's only hard if you understand what's going on. Okay, so I didn't even need that line. That was simply because of the hole replacing the grid space. Okay, so now the grid space, or the runestone. I guess we just call it runestone. I can rename it in the future if necessary. Do I have a thing already? No, I don't. I do have tile. I don't know what tile is. Unless that's also kind of an upgrade thing. Okay, runestone. I do think the break of Thanksgiving did help. Okay, so you are not gonna have a number. You are gonna have a color. Oh boy, at some point I need to figure out tooltips as well. Man, that's the thing. It's like No, I know how I did that. Where I'm like, oh yeah, I made a good dent on making a skill tree building roguelike in 2 weeks that had like tooltips and everything. And I'm like, how did I do that? And it was because I was unemployed for 2 weeks. That's why. That's how. Yeah, okay, so I gotta figure out the tooltip thing. I still think this is a good idea. This is just a big idea. That was the problem. Well, it was partially that I also wanted to... Because it's a skill tree, that sounds like an action RPG, and an action RPG needs more than just a single battle screen. I guess it doesn't need to have more than just a single battle screen, but I was like, no, I think if I went and did this again, I would want to make it a full-on action RPG. Okay, so... Yeah, and this color manager actually isn't what I was really meaning to do with color manager. It does let me completely reconfigure the colors for the game, but which I guess isn't a bad thing necessarily. Yeah, and I guess even like Bellatra, I'm trying to think, because I'm like, that's a game that it does reskin the cards too. I don't think I've messed with the different because that's just different decks you can switch to, right? They don't advertise the different decks here, do they? Yeah, I don't think I messed with that. I like the core set of stuff here that I don't think I've messed with the, like, Vampire Survivors cards and stuff. Yeah, okay, so something like the animator and the text is like, okay, I don't need those. Or the number. But again, this is feeling like I need to have an item. Yeah, but the upgrade items are going to be something separate anyway. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah, like I keep saying I'm going to have to remake the entire game. But I'm still in the prototyping phase. I need to make sure that the upgrades system works. And I guess the question that I need to answer is... Because that's the thing, it's like, okay, I can think of... Because I'm using the same sort of system here of each item has a type, which is in this case the club, in my case the color, and then the number. Yeah, because that's what keeps making me say, oh, I could just steal the upgrade system here. But I can't entirely because it's also got a board of spaces. Or at any rate, the question I need to answer is, if I put the upgrade inside of the board, does that still work? Backpack Hero would say yes, because that's, you just put everything into the backpack, whether it's an upgrade item or if it's a like a weapon, like attack item. But the question is, can you like roll the ball around it? Or does it become just a big wall that's obnoxious? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need this. May or may not need the box collider. I don't know why or how I have the box collider thing there. Oh, and then this will not need an... well, no, it'll probably need an audio source and a set of audio here. And the grid space. Yeah, this is where it's getting into that, like, having some kind of audio manager, too. Which that one's one that, like, maybe steal that from Brainoid. Yeah, do I have placement audio? I don't know if I actually have placement audio, because right now the button... Yeah, it's playing it when you press the button, but not when you place the button. Just like the bumper is pressing it when it gets bumped. The runestone is not actually... Should not be allowing the ball to run into it. Okay, but the whole thing was setting the color of this. Which I might do more... That was... Wait, I wrote that idea down as a thing, right? Because I had the idea... Or again, yeah, merging items and balls. But I had the idea, if I switch it to... Whatchamacallit? Bowling pins. If I switch it from buttons to bowling pins, and then I say, oh, if you merge the pins together, what does that do? And that's just, you get a pile of bowling pins all set up to all get hit at once. But it's like, how would that work with a button? And that's what I'm thinking, the edge on the button can be a different color. In which it would be like a bronze, silver, gold kind of thing. That's kind of what I was thinking. Did I make those as materials? Is it one of those, like, there's a lot of these ideas that I have that I start, that I forget, and then I remake or restart, and then realize, wait a second, no, I already have. Okay, so no, I did not make, like, bronze, silver, gold as materials. Might not be a bad idea to do at some point. Okay, color. Where are you getting set? Initialize button. Yeah, that's what it was. If the color manager is not equal, then null. And then on start, initialize button. Okay, so we might steal that as well. Either that or try to make it a little more standardized. Okay, so nothing number related. Although at some point it's gonna have to figure out how it's related to I don't even remember where I was going with that. At some point I'm gonna have to figure out how this stuff is related. It's barely 6:30. How in the heck am I already slowing down to where I'm not here right now? Okay, initialize runestone. Yeah, it's the tooltip stuff that I'm gonna have to figure out how to display that. And then it's not actually applying that. Oh, okay, no, a lot of this stuff is actually gonna... Because if it is, you drag it from the hand and onto the board, then... Yeah, and again, it's like, don't be copy-pasting stuff and changing it. But that's... Oh, did I need it to be on update? So, okay, wait. Why? It's doing update button in the update, but not using the code that says update button. Okay, and now to update the button code and then get confused why the button is broken when all I was doing was working on the runestone. And it's because I see something else and then update it and then confuse myself. Okay, well, hopefully with any luck, the runestones will be different colors. I do not have any luck. Yes, okay. And somehow, despite running the exact same code, if I do update button, that causes the button to explode. It's literally the same code. Huh? Okay, well, let's just focus on the runestone, and then I can go back and see how I broke the button. Okay, the color manager has not been initialized. Okay, none of that has been initialized. That would make sense. So... yeah, okay, you do have a grid space. But like I said, the runestone also had a grid space, right? Oh, it doesn't have button. Wait a second, how the heck did it break so bad if it doesn't actually have... not button, rather. If it doesn't actually have the runestone script, then what broke? So you're the mesh that I want to change. The color manager should hopefully get set. Which it's not, because the game is not exploding, because the hole never actually changes colors. So the button actually does need the... so the runestone will need the thing. So instead of button, runestone. So then we switch out button with runestone. And this is one of those opportunities to, when you switch out the word, actually read the code and see what it says here instead of just switching out the code here. Again, it's another opportunity. I like to wave at them as they go by. Okay, so set color manager. All of this stuff. Set color, get color, set color manager. All needs to be put into an item, and then that item needs to be put across these different things. I'm still prototyping. I'm gonna tell myself that up until the game releases. It's just a prototype. It's not actually a real game. If the code's bad, the code's bad. Okay, so now... grid space, you can... oops. You can go there. Not gonna worry about the audio source. The audio source shouldn't be playing, and there's no clips to play anyway, but I do have a lot of tile clicking sound effects that I'm like, that entirely works for placing these stones down. I do want them to be tiles. But I do... ooh, hey, now they got different colors. And they have... okay, can I make them very shiny? Materials. Because it's not switching out the material, it's switching out the color of the material, right? Yes, it's just switching out the color of the material. So... can I switch out the material? The prefab, the runestone, the U. Okay, instead of material, shiny. Oh, that's what it was. Unity has this default, like, gold. So I did not make it gold, but Unity has one. Okay, so you don't look any shinier. Oh! You also need to have outline stuff. So if I go, yeah, do not the grid ball, because the grid ball is the other code that is not working right now that maybe one day will be working after much, much confusion. Okay, shader graphs outline. Let's not forget. You also need a shader graphs outline. Yes for shader? No. These are not organized in that manner. Okay. So now if it's super shiny, it does feel like it needs some kind of texture, some kind of something to it. You're not super shiny. These buttons look shinier than these do. Oh, I lied. You are super shiny. You're not showing it, though. Herm. So, is there a way to... Okay, if I look at the material for ball, metallic and smoothness. Okay, yeah, you are as shiny as can be. That is maximum shiny. Okay, well... Okay, and let's just do less of y'all. It's kind of a good test, but I think for... That's not less. So let's just kind of say that there's 2 upgrades or something like that. Yeah, that's actually getting them to score. Oh, 2 that just so happen to be green. It feels like it needs some kind of shininess or some kind of something to it. I'm like, oh, I could do a shader that'll make it all like modeled. Which, yeah, I could do a shader to give it texture, but yeah. Okay, so now theoretically, oh, what happens if I try to bounce a ball into this? Nothing. Okay, because you would no collider or anything. So if I give you a collider. Fab, runestone, because there's kind of supposed to be walls. That's the thing, though. It's like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Where's the collider for the button? You're on the button, right? Or are you at the top level here? No, you are disabled? But here? Why is it disabled? Okay, but it is on the model, not on the top level object. Okay, so we add a box collider. Oh, bugger off. You didn't want to... Oh, because I added it to the wrong spot. That's why. Let's try that again. A box collider to the model specifically, not the top level. What I was just saying is not the top level. There we go. Okay. So now, if I run a ball into it, this is not labeled as anything, so that may or may not work. I don't know. Or may not do the thing I want it to do, where it Okay, I guess I have to label it as bad so that it does not, Oh, it's like I kind of wanted to run into it with a little more force just to see what happens, but there's not really a way to loop around past these buttons right now. Okay, but if I clear some of these out of the way, and then I go this away. Okay, same difference. The pipe. Like, what are you tagged as? Because that's really what I wanted to do, is just if you run into the thing, you just kind of explode. You're tagged as pipe. Bumper? You're tagged as bumper. Button. You're tagged as button. I haven't really tagged anything as a wall, have I? Because that's essentially what this is going to be, is like a you can't go this way. And I don't have walls yet either. It might need to be tagged as runestone, though. I don't know. I guess, no, I can have as many flippin' tags as I flippin' want until Unity explodes. So we're going to tag this as runestone. But really what should be happening here is that it should be top level, right? Yeah, ball at the top level. That would make sense. Top level. And all the child objects. Let's see if it does that. No. So all of the child objects. Not that that really needed it, but this has the collider on it, and this is what you would be checking. So, now... Okay, but when the ball runs into something... Yeah, because I have ball and physics ball for maximum confusion. When the ball runs into something... There's both this and this. That's if there's a bumper. Yeah, I made it so confusing. Yeah, because this is saying if there's something in front of this. It also deletes when it hits a pipe, though. There we go. Okay, so if the collision object is a pipe, then update direction to 0. Instead, if the thing is a... Because it really needs to be if it's not a button and if it's not a bumper. Okay, so not a button and not a bumper. Let's see if that does it. To where it can hit the pipe and the... I should do a web build at some point here too. Oh, I still gotta fix the mouse position. I fixed the camera position, I never fixed the mouse position when placing objects. I guess I could remove the hand of buttons there too. I keep adding things and removing them. But I think part of that is adding it so that... Adding it and removing it because... so that I can add it again later. Okay, so now if I run a ball into there... And then if I loop a ball back into the pipe... Okay, and the button scoring... Thank you for the hydrate. Okay, yeah, okay. The bumpers are bumping, but it's also running into this, or it's, you know, not running into that. This is doing the right thing, where it's not... I don't know. Is that an obvious enough change between these two? And that's why I want some kind of texture or something, because they are literally the same material. was hoping for like maximum shiny, but the plastic buttons also. So I guess what if I do that then? What if I instead do a really sad flat material instead? Oh, and let's get the hydrate done before the ads start. Guess the ad break will give me a good chance to. I always say crank up my desk just because of that old IKEA desk where I had to literally crank it. But yeah, it's so much better, so much more convenient, and there's so much like actual use having the button to just get the standing desk to go up and down. That wasn't this year, was it? Or has it been a year? When did I get this desk? I know my computer was June, so it's only been like 6 months on my computer, but when did I get this desk? It's funny how you get used to things and it's like, this stuff has always been here. It's always been like this, and it's like, nah, that's 6 months is really not that long. Yeah, it always feels like I'm never gonna get better and nothing's ever gonna improve, and then I'm like, nah, 6 months ago things were improving, so I think it's just very easy to get stuck in the current moment and be like, my kidneys are done goofed, my back's done goofed, my sinuses might be done goofed. Okay, desk. Apparently I've used the word desk a lot of times. Okay, maybe desk in my tags. There's the ad break. Okay, let's press this button. Okay, I was getting distracted by Instagram again. It is funny how my personal Instagram goes from cosplay content to... It's given me a lot of animal content recently. It's like, now you want this goose. You want to watch a bunch of gooses. It's like, okay, yeah, I do. Well, watch this lizard crawl up this guy's leg and just, like, hang out. Okay. I do like animal content. I wanted to do a quick material swap. It's only 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's the thing. It's like I should be starting at about 5 o'clock so that I can be done by 8 o'clock. It's one of those like, okay, I should be done by 7:30 so that I can go raid and make sure I'm in bed by 8 o'clock so I can get up at 4 o'clock. So that I can get to work heckin' early and skip the traffic and also... That was the thing too, is like this drive doesn't even have a lot of traffic. But skipping the school traffic would be kind of nice. I was surprised how quickly I got to the office the other day, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, this is a good idea to try doing this. Okay. I was swapping out the material just real quick, just to see if that has any material difference on the... Dang damn it. This. So if I switch it out with a less shiny thing, does that matter at all? I guess I go back to the material. Like, I don't think it's really gonna register at all. Yeah, what I really want to do is make these look... I guess it is a little different. Okay, let's just make a material for the runestone and see if that can... make it so that it looks... I want the upgrades to be a little more visibly different than the buttons. Can make them transparent. Make them look like little glass things. Why does that make that so shiny? I guess no, we want to make it dull then, because the shininess was not working out. Yeah, okay. Smoothness, so 0. Not smooth at all. Oh boy. Okay, no, that's not, it's not doing much at all. So if I try switching that out here. Nah, I think I need some kind of texture or something. Then it'll look a little more visibly different. I think it's just because of the issue that I'm putting it on the board as opposed to putting it off on its own separate space. I'm kind of needing to figure out this. It's funny that this looks right. I'm like, this looks good to me, but that does not. I guess if they were a different color, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of saying, okay, this is gonna score better because it's green. Or this is gonna cause green to score better kind of thing. Okay. Do I want to try tackling that? Yeah, I guess I should. I should want to, or I should do it? I think it's ideally. I should want to work on the thing. That's the thing. It's like, if this is truly what I want to do, why would I be complaining about it? I think what I'm complaining about is the gap between what's in my head and what is actually made. Because when I say Rube Goldberg roguelike, that is just a really cool idea and everybody should be very excited. And I don't know that anybody's been excited at all. I now need to figure out probably the score manager. You're excited? That's good to hear. That's the thing. It's like I've shown it sort of vaguely, and I don't. Like I said, one person said I don't know what this is, but I'm excited, and the couple people that have tried it have been like, okay, this is interesting, but I don't know if that means like I will be excited when it's done, or if that's a like this is exciting to try now, or what. Yeah, I'll be very interested to see what the reaction is like in person, like an in-person demo. If anybody is. Well, and even that is also a little like you're gonna get people that are excited to play games, so like no matter what game they're playing, they're gonna be excited to be trying something. But I know what you really have to say is like whether they like which I guess I probably did scare the guy who was doing the VR demo when I kind of was like, okay, yeah, I think I'm good. Or it's like why'd you finish the demo? And it was just like I was in a VR headset for like 10 minutes, and I was like, well, I want to make sure that like other people are getting a chance and stuff. It wasn't busy at that time, so it probably wasn't necessary, but I do that with games for some reason, with demos, where I'm like, I think I understand what the game is, and I quit like 2 minutes before the demo ends. But that's it too. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, no, I understand that this is a version of like keep talking and nobody explodes kind of thing. Or no, it was the James Bond VR one, whatever that one is. So not keep talking and nobody explodes, but the other VR game. Oh, at some point I'll have to look up the jagged Unity shadows. Okay, this is the web version. Oh, that was the other thing, is I want to do a new... Oh, okay, wait. Let's fix them. I don't know how to fix the mouse. I could sort of fix the mouse. It's gonna warn you that there's an anti-bot system for slime catching in the future. I was kind of wondering about that. It seems like that probably not encouraged. Yeah, probably good that you're excited, but also I can see why. It's like if you let one person do botting, then more people do botting, and then the chat just becomes, hey, let's sit here and catch slimes and not actually interact with the stream at all. Yeah, I guess if you're sitting there, like, predictably, like, every 5 minutes, it is doing a catch. So... yeah, curious how that will work, because it still has to be usable with users without being identified as a bot. Well, and that also might just be a thing to update on your bot system, too, is, like, do a variable time between, like, 5 and 7 minutes or something. If it is, like, on a 5-minute cooldown or something. But I suppose you could just stress test the system. Anti-bot technology gets deployed. Anti-bot technology gets deployed. Yeah, that is the thing about bot stuff like that. Is like, you're just excited about catching slimes. Is it so bad? But like I said, it's if everybody is spamming in the chat with slime catching, then yeah, I could see that being an issue. Yeah, it's already a variable, can set it to a random time each catch. I was kind of assuming so. So like I said, or like you were saying, I think it'd be hard to figure out who's doing bot commands and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if something like Stream Avatars has like anti-bot stuff, just because like it's a fairly popular streamer tool. So does it also have like a, hey, you can't spam that? It might be something I need to look at for my roller coaster too. Yeah, because I don't think I actually have it as a variable when you hit extend. I think it's just the extend command. But seeing how Pogorli was throwing a number on the end, I do feel like I should do that. And just say, okay, you can extend it by a number amount. Okay, I was gonna try fixing the... or at least I was gonna put in a number for the... whatchamacallit? The mouse offset. I put everything under the game manager. You don't have the mouse offset? Right? That's what it is. It's called mouse offset? Or offset? Okay, just offset then. What? Didn't I have... There it is. Camera controls. This wasn't where I was doing the, like... No, wasn't it under the game manager that I had the camera? Oh, I guess I didn't have it listed as an offset amount. Putting a number at the end because for some commands it will still accept the command if something's added after a space at the end. And spamming is prevented by Twitch if the message doesn't change. But you could still add the number as a feature. Yeah, no, yeah, you're talking Pagorli for doing the roller coaster. Yeah. No, I realized that was an anti-spam, not a actually trying to extend it by a number, but I'm realizing that it also works very nicely if you're trying to extend it however many times that you just put the number on the end. Probably have a cap, and then probably have a cooldown on that as well, but... It's always one of those things of, like, at the start. No cooldowns, none. Spam, extend 100, and then just the screen goes white with roller coaster. Although I think my computer would explode well before that, even if it's a new computer. There's like 5 or something. Yeah, exactly. About to say make a capture, or else somebody will write extend 99999999999. Yeah, because that's immediately what I did with the stream avatars with the allowance was, oh, let's do, here's 9999. There you go. There's your allowance. Did I ever, I don't think I ever put that on the, like this, the stream description that says like, hey, if you want stream avatars allowance to gamble with, then you can just ask for it. Although maybe that's a bot command thing I could set up somewhere too. I don't know how I would hook that up to stream avatars though. The day is ending. 7:15 and I'm yawning like it's 8 o'clock. Okay, it's very much I should just tweak the mouse and then do a web build. So the mouse positioning was off by how much? Oh, it's not. It's whatever this new error was that I created. What? What? Are you saying the grid space doesn't exist? It doesn't, does it? Null. Yes, okay. So that's if... And there's 2 of these that are... grid space related. So let's make sure there is a grid space before we do this. So if... Although I want the grid space to be set to null if it is null though, right? That's why I didn't have that. But here, when I'm actually messing with the grid space, this is only if the grid space is not equal to null. Okie dokie. So now the UI button should not explode, and then I can test the position of the UI button with the camera. Which I still gotta figure out the math for that. No! Boo, hiss, boo. Okay, now? There we go, okay. And then you are floating off of the mouse by a certain amount. And it was something like -10 or something. Wasn't I messing with it here? And not in the flippin' thingamabob? Okay, mouse offset. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Wait, is it hello, hello? Because it's typically... I don't know why I picked up doing the echo there. I think that is a little bit of a stream thing, though, is that, like, you say a thing, and then it's a very easy way to fill time by just saying the same thing again with more emphasis on whatever you want to emphasize. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. The game manager here. Let's just make a mouse offset. Since I keep tweaking that variable. Do I has floats somewhere? Didn't mean to call you out exactly. No, I was calling myself out with the hello, hello. Yeah, because that's me doing hello, hello, welcome, welcome. And then realize, oh, it's an echo, and then echo myself again. And repeat the same things over and over and over. But it's new people. Nobody's going to know that it's repeated. That's the fun thing. Then I can tell whatever stories repeatedly. This is C#. This is, yeah, Unity, C#. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the project either. I'm making a satisfying puzzle roguelike. It's a grid-based marble machine roguelike. Yeah, those are the other words. I was gonna say, I don't really want to show off the dev version just yet because I'm tweaking the... But, okay, wait, I just needed a variable. Here, I don't have floats. I have integers, but I don't have anything that's a float just yet. Really? That's surprising. God balls. Okay, you... There. I need a less new keyboard. I need a different kind of keycap. I got the, like, most sensitive keycap, and I'm like, no, because I like the click, but it's too much. It's too clicky now at this point. We'll see if and when I actually do get another keyboard, but... okay, so this is the mouse. Yeah, I can definitely hear it. When I go back and listen to the stream, I'm like, oh, yeah, that keyboard is loud. Okay, I have seen me working on this by personal experience with Unity. Yeah, I haven't been great about posting on social media. I'm trying to get... Yeah, I'm kind of just posting clips at this point. But I do want to post more, actual... Yeah, that's the thing, too. I haven't posted anything on... Well, it's because Twitch is hooked up to Instagram, Twitch is hooked up to YouTube and stuff. Oh, nobody likes Marble Drop? That makes sense. It's old as heck and not the most visually interesting, especially because it's old as heck. Oh no, I lied. I guess that's 400 views. That's better than Yeah, this is just wild to me, because this did fairly well on YouTube and on Twitch. And I'm like, it's such a boring clip. It's me just looking around going, what the heck is that noise? And that's it. And yet it's 1,000 views for what is basically nothing. Okay, I don't need to be looking at the numbers on clips that I don't really care about. Does Unity use shaders? If so, what language? Unity does have shader stuff you can mess with, and the way I'm doing it, I think there's multiple ways you can do it, but there's the shader graph that you can mess with. Something I need to learn more about for sure, but because pretty much my shader knowledge is watch a tutorial, implement it, watch a tutorial, implement it, but I do want to mess with it. I don't know if I want to go as heavy as, like, Balatro, where everything is like, oh, I could do a shader for this, I could do a shader for that, but, yeah, I do want to mess with it. Yeah, for that latest game jam, I also did a shader for the... Nope, not my library. My dashboard. No, my flippin' profile. There we go. There, this. The stars in the background here is a shader effect. And then this is just noise. This is just a noise texture that I placed on a planet that it looks kind of, you know, definitely not good close up, but I don't know if it looks super good far away either, but it doesn't look good, but I was messing with shaders just a little bit for funsies. But messing around with shaders for Ren'Py. The visual novel thing? Ren'Py has shader stuff? I just think of that as like static screenshots of anime character in front of a dialogue box. Or behind a dialogue box, rather. It's got shader stuff? I think you mentioned it before, and yet it surprises me every time. Also, these 3 screenshots look wildly different, so it's kind of cool that it can support that much. Yeah, I think this is one of the few visual novels I've even played. Was Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah, not really a visual novel guy. Yes and yes for whatever I was saying. I wasn't entirely paying attention, but yeah, I have played Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't remember when I did that, or why even. Well, I know vaguely why. It was because it was fairly... Okay, yeah, that's the mouse offset that I need to figure out. But I remember it was fairly short, which is also one of those things of like I want to play the blue monster game, the stretchy blue monster game. Poppy's Playtime? Playtime, right? Poppy Playtime? Something like that. Because I was like, oh, it's free and it's short? Well, okay, that seems... Although, Phil went and put go, God, goodness. Good. I gotta look at it again. Goroga. Where's my, I had the list of like, oh, there we go, community goals. Gorogoa, there we go. And that's 2 hours long. Yeah, okay. Gorogoa. Which is 2 hours long, which very much, and that's something like Cocoon. I'm like, Cocoon is 5 hours long if I ever get time to do a stream all day. Yeah, I definitely can't do it for my birthday this year, though, because my parents are... Both, my parents are showing up for that time, and work is like, we need people in the office these days. And it was like, oh, okay. This is very much going to feel like I'm back at school. I get finals for my birthday. Wonderful. Ren'Py is for visual novels, and you can use shaders for it. On the itch page, I have a parallax shader. That's cool. Is there... Oh, is it same name? I was like, well, I guess if you want to show off your stuff, feel free. Okay, I do also want to finish this small thing I was doing, because I'm like, I just need to tweak the position of the mouse here. Just a little bit. Okay. So we do like a negative... I could have sworn I was messing with the variable in Unity. Not in here. But maybe it was for something else. Was it the camera or something or other? So like a negative 10? See if that's like too much. Or not enough, or... Excuse me. That's the camera. I wanted the... Okay, that's not, not the variable I wanted to mess with. The position of the thing there. Okay, you have linked your stuff and shown off your stuff before. Okay, parallax scrolling to simulate depth and dynamic scene movement. Yeah, I just don't know enough about RenPy to... That seems like a great idea, though. To really give a visual novel a lot of movement to it. Did I play any of these? Like, wait, was this? I did! This was the one that I played for the Secret Santa Jam. Yeah. Or maybe not. No, I did. Yeah, I did. Because it was like you had to mesh the spacebar to get it to the thing there. And then keep it there, and then also do something else at the same time. Press up and down, I think? Yes. Yes, okay. I have played this, and I do remember this. Aha, okay. Which also tells me where you came from. I always try to remember. I'm like always curious, like how people find me, and should really go back and polish that. That's what I say about so many of my projects. It's like I should go, especially because I'm using the desktop, the idle desktop roller coaster, on this stream on a regular basis now at this point. So I'm like, I should update this. I should upgrade this. I need to find a certain time of year to say, okay, this is when I'm upgrading things. This is, like, just carve out a time for, okay, this is when I'm going to go back and polish some stuff. Yeah, because something like this, I'm like, this is a mobile game that is mostly done. Like, it wouldn't really be that much of a push to put this on, to actually put this on mobile. Even like this, I'm like, I just needed to make some more levels for this. I got all of the, like, core components done. I just needed to make some more levels, and I didn't. Well, I think this was also because it's using a thing that already exists, is the issue. I would have to switch out the main character for this. I think I even have a list of, like, games I want to go back and polish and stuff too, and I don't think I've okay, it's when you pick up a button with the UI button thing. That's spawning button here. So when you pick up a button, no, okay, that's making a button, that's selecting a button there, picking up a UI button here. Oh, it is ads, isn't it? I'm pushing through. I want to... Yeah, it's like it's 7:30. I should think about... The only reason I'm thinking about going to bed is because, okay, I need to... Alright, doing a web build is going to take a while. Raiding into somebody else is going to take a while. And then getting to bed by 8 o'clock is going to take a while. If I do all those things. Okay, but it's if you're holding an item, it is placing the button where? Holding item equals true. Oh, do I not actually? Okay. Oh, held item. That's what it was, not holding item. Held item, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so held item. Where's the position for this held item? Set follow mouse. No, and that's snapping it to after the fact. And that's just saying whether it is following the mouse or not. But if it is, there we go. This is the variable that I was messing with. And this has the camera offset. Okay, it's the grid space that has the camera offset. There we go. For maximum confusion. Now I think I have a mouse offset that I don't actually need, right? Yes, okay. And now because it's not in here, it's over here. Oh, so it looks like you had a full... You got a full blast of ads, I think. Which, that sucks, because 3 minutes of ads is somehow very, very long. So... I did make some kind of sound. I think it was kind of a hiccup. I do actually make, like, the full-on, like... It does sound like I'm saying the word hiccup sometimes when I hiccup. Yeah, I bought too much Chinese food for Thanksgiving, and I've been eating too much of it. I did finish it off. I did kill it off today, though. So. It's weird. I lost weight on vacation somehow. I went to Italy and ate, like, pizza and pasta and pastries. And came back lighter. And then I've proceeded to eat poorly since I've been here. Specifically because I'm like, how and why have I not gained weight? And yet I still have not gained weight. I haven't lost weight either, though, because that was a little bit of the worry. It was like, okay, if I keep complaining about health problems, and then I'm losing weight, but that also was not it, so... The button, because it's the UI button. There we go, the UI button. The camera offset on the UI button is nothing right now, and it used to be like -10 or something. Oh, you hiccuped at the same time. Okay. Less stress, better food. Or you'll have less stress, but if you have better food. Or are you saying vacation was less stress and I had better food? Which, yeah, I could very much see that being the case too. Is that just being on vacation helped? But well, like I said, it's just I haven't gained the weight back like I was kind of expecting, especially because it's the winter and I'm, more sedentary and I'm back to work where I'm not walking around a bunch. Oh, that's true. There was a couple days where we were just walking the city a ton and then did not actually eat until like late in the day. Yeah, because that was the thing too, is like I usually eat around like 4 o'clock. And dinner there was 8 o'clock. It's like, that is a different dinner time. Yeah, it's like, here I am like, it's bedtime. I think I should think about going to bed. And it's like, well, I guess we could leave and go get dinner now if we want. Definitely a weird feeling. I was testing. Okay, theoretically I could do... If I let go of this, it's gonna just explode, though. And then now I can't pause. Okay. So you... No, it's not you. You're not the one I need to mess with because you're not getting... You're not following anything. You're just following the camera. It is just a button. I don't know why I'm confusing myself. This is a go to bed, tackle this tomorrow kind of thing. Man, I just want to play... games, dang it. I'm like, I want to finish Borderlands 4, and I still want to play more Dishonored 2. Like, I Dishonored 2 is super cool, and I still have not, could learn Unity, but I've become very involved with visual novel dev groups. No, I think you should stick with a thing. I think I have hurt myself by doing a variety of things. I think the best way, if you're trying to get, I guess money, I don't know, or learning, or, I guess brand. I think for branding, for the sake of branding, I think doing the same kind of thing repeatedly, as in like doing a bunch of visual novels, is a good idea. So I would say stick with the visual novel stuff. I mean, the music is just random, or, you know, somewhat random stuff. This was just somebody who was pumping out a bunch of audio clips. It is looping through all of the audio clips, but I don't know if this is... Oh, these are short, too, so maybe I did get that far down. Did I? I was like, yeah, it should still be this... There we go, I was gonna say. I made sure that it is looping through this artist's stuff only, because I have had it where it loops into somebody else, and then it gets hit with the, like, oh, we muted this part of the stream for you. I'm like, no, dadgummit. Okay, so now you... now we try that? Okay, and I know it's not going to be exact, but as long as it's close for now. Okay, maybe like a -5 then? Said I won't be making anything with the Secret Santa Jam this year, but too many projects currently. That's where I'm at too. It's just like, oh man, Honest Dan is doing a game jam. I've never done one of the Honest Dan jams. Oh, Secret Santa Jam is happening. Oh, Proc Jam. I was like, oh no, all of the jams are happening at the end of the year. And I'm like, no, I'm too committed to this. Trying to finish some version of this, especially because I signed up to demo it in person somewhere. And I'm like, okay, no, I should work on this. Which is also why I'm not playing Borderlands 4 right now either. Because... I played games yesterday, too. That's really what it was. It was because I was playing games yesterday that I was like, okay, no, once a week, that's it. But seeing how I don't get hardly anything done on the weekend anyway, it'd be tempting to do some Borderlands 4 on the weekend. Especially when Pagorli came into the stream first thing and was like, you said you were going to stream a bunch on Thanksgiving. And I was like, I thought I was. I wanted to. There's definitely a wide gap between the... Okay, wait. So I did -10 was too much. But this seemed like... Okay, so maybe -2 or 3 then? That doesn't seem right, but... Holding out for Sealed with a Kiss jam in January. A visual novel narrative focused jam. Well, I know the one that I want to do at some point that I've never done. I don't know that I would like... One of the jams that pops up every year is the Strawberry Jam. That is a not safe for work game jam. That... I've had 1 or 2 ideas for, like, not safe for work games that I think would be fairly, like, short and quick, that it'd be like, okay, no, it'd be fun to do for a game jam, but... Then I forget the jam exists, and then it's, like, in June, and I'm like, oh, I forgot, that happened, dang it. Yeah, because I think that one's, like, a month long. Like I said, yes, a Strawberry Jam is a month-long... not safe for work jam in February. So I think it's supposed to coincide with Valentine's Day. And like I said, I'm not going to look it up and show it on stream here. I don't think the itch.io page has anything untoward on it, but I know the games obviously are going to be not safe for work. Oh yeah, especially because of the censorship of not safe for work games. That makes it even more tempting to make a not safe for work game and say, no, these games are important. Like, this is not a thing that we should just say, oh, won't you think of the children? It's like, I think the important thing to teach the children is a healthy way to deal with like that kind of thing. And not just... Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in society that is... We're gonna put it over here and ignore it, and it'll go away. And it's like putting somebody in jail and like in a box and ignoring them is not a solution for anybody. Just like saying, oh, not safe for work stuff, like that's awful, that's horrible, we can't do that. It's like, well, how do you think the human race is gonna exist and continue if you skip a major step of procreation? Yeah, I think education is the most important thing. And it's sad that it's like, oh, hey, let's gut our education system and let kids get shot, at least in America. That guns are more important than children is just awful. I was falling asleep here, apparently. Trying to test this. This is still off. And I don't want to figure out the math on how to fix it. Okay, so -3 is not working. Is it even moving? Okay, yeah, camera off says 0, but then I did negative... Okay, I want you to go in the other direction just to make sure that I am moving it in the correct direction. So you... Oh, okay, now you're close enough. So I might just call it good. No, it's gonna be awkward, though. It's like... Okay, I'm the only one messing with this right now, anyway. Although, I guess I could pin that as a link. If anybody wants to try the game, they can, because I do have it available. Not publicly available, but available at any rate. Or at least I can throw the password on the end of there. Yeah, Strawberry Jam looks interesting. Probably won't have time for it. Well, it's one of those things of like it's a month long too. Yes, it is the shortest month of the year, but it is still an entire month long. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those like I keep putting it on the like pile of jams to do where I'm like I used to do Global Game Jam every year, and then I do the GMTK Jam, or at least I've started doing the GMTK Jam every year. I did the Pirate Soft. Well, yeah, I skipped the last couple Pirate Softwares. But yeah, the GMTK is the one that oh, the Down to Jam stuff that started up this year. Those are the major ones that I did, was GMTK and Down to Jam. Struggled to do Spooktober with a team of 20 plus. That is... You're getting a full AA studio there. That's 20 plus. Also, I'm not fully familiar with Spooktober. I did Spoopy Jam one year. That was make a multiplayer horror game. Oh, is this also a visual novel jam thing? 20 plus people for a visual novel jam? That seems like too many cooks in the kitchen. Personally. But I haven't done much visual stuff, so... Or other way around. I haven't done much novel stuff. Well, no, I guess it is novel. I haven't done much visual novel stuff there, that specifically. Dang it. Yeah, it's gonna bother me that the button is constantly out of position. By just a little bit. But I don't know exactly how to get it. Although it was because it was like when I had the camera at a 45-degree angle, I don't think I had this problem either. I think the top-down angle and the 45-degree angle, it was completely fine. Which that seems odd to me. Feels like one of those should have had an issue. Clearly. Oh yeah, okay. Visual novels are a ton of work. Art, writing, programmers, musicians, voice actors. Yeah, okay. That would And I guess if you have each person doing each of those things, you could separate them a little easier. What's the origin point of the button? Yeah, because I'm trying to get it to be on the mouse position. So on the X, 0 on the Y, and then it's this Z value, trying to get it to actually be and like I said, it's close, and if I do it like top down with no offset, it's completely fine. Like it stays on the mouse. But the issue now is the and I like this camera angle. I want to keep messing with this camera angle because it makes it much more visually interesting, and the pipe doesn't get in the way. I think I gotta do something about the pipe too. I gotta move the pipe or something. But it's kind of out of the way here. Even if I do that, this is still visible, and you can still mess with it. Yeah, but now it's just slightly off. It's like at this position here, it's good, but then you get a little further, and it's like, no, it's. Okay, wait. I said 1/3 and 2/3. So maybe that's. Okay, so how about we try that? So you're 1/3, something like that, and then we do you're 2/3. Looks like the origin is the center at the bottom of the button. Well, and like I don't know if you saw it shifting around on the screen there. It's not locked to. Okay, let's just see what this does. But it's the button is moving out from under the mouse. So if I move the mouse down to the bottom, the button was lining up. But then when I moved the mouse up, the button was running off. This could very well just explode, but yeah, there. As you can see, the mouse is there and then the button. So if I go to there, it's fine. But then here, it's running off. Yeah, the issue with this is like, oh, I want to put the button here, and it's like, no, you have to put your mouse there, and then it puts the button there. So that was close-ish, I guess, kind of. Dagnabbit. Do I don't want to reset the camera again to make this playable, but I might. There was another issue with moving the camera. Oh, it's because the position of the board gets out from under the camera too, which is a thing of like, just make it so that whatever camera angle I set is also changing the position of the camera. Yeah, because then this needs to be set too. And this is why I keep not publishing another build or putting this on social media, is because there's always these small little bugs. Yeah, okay, now I gotta figure out the math of... I don't know exactly what... Okay, if I do just Z, will that help me determine what the math is for getting the button to be right under the mouse? Yeah, and then looking at the mouse and the mouse cursor, I'm like... Yeah, it's so subtle here. That's the thing. Okay, there we go. If I zoom out, then you can see... It's off by just a little bit. And then it slowly matches up until the camera clipping kills it there, so... Looks like the issue is the mouse coordinates are based on the screen size and the button mapping. And the button is mapping to the height of the board. Oh yeah, the mouse is definitely the mouse is the screen position, and then the button is 3D, and that's where the issue is coming from, but... the mouse Y, yeah, mouse Y is related to screen height, and butt Y is related to the board. Yeah, because as you can see here, it's actually, like, it is in line with the board. But the issue being, it's just slightly off. And I don't know exactly... Yeah, and the way I was fixing it earlier is I was just adding the other value here, but that doesn't seem to be... Okay, seeing how I did the... Okay, and then how off was this again? There we go. Okay, so how off was this again? I feel like there's some kind of fractional percent or something. And this is the only camera angle that was doing this, too. The other camera angles were not doing this. Yeah, okay, now it's just off. It's offset in a different position. So that didn't help either, so... can you look the position of the mouse and the position of the button to compare? I could, but they're different like, because it's screen coordinates versus like a game, like the in the game coordinates. Like it's two different coordinate systems, so, and that's what this is supposed to be doing, is saying screen to world point and actually doing like a yeah, and I think it's... Yeah, no, it's because I don't want to change the Y position of the thing. Yeah, I don't know how I would translate it in my head. Like, I don't know if the debugging it and saying, okay, here's what where the mouse is and then where the button is would actually translate well. Or in a way that I could understand. Yeah, because now it's shifting around, like, where it's not just... Because there is that one point where it is actually lined up, and then it shifts away. But yeah, I don't think... Like, when I had the top-down version, it wasn't running away like that. And I don't think it was in this 45-degree angle version either. Is the other thing that's frustrating about it. Yeah, but that works perfectly fine top down. I kind of want to just have a playable web build. I can fix this later. And this was like -3 or something like that. Yeah, so that'll be... I did this last time too. I got rid of the rotation and then said, I got that angle is a little, kinda, I don't think you could play the game at that angle. Okay, so not -3. Where did I want the camera again? Oh, 3, not -3. I did the wrong direction. Yeah, okay, so next time I boot this up, it'll be fixing the mouse bug. I lied. 3.5 maybe? 3.5, okay. Okay, there we go. Now, I can print this off as a build. Yeah, okay, so these are basically just obnoxious walls. Yeah, and I don't have any ability to delete anything right now. Okay, actually, I could get rid of the upgrades that aren't doing anything anyway. I don't really need obnoxious walls, especially because there's not a ton of space for that. And then that lets me at least test the... Ah, okay, so you were on the phone, I assume? Yeah, I've never really tried to look at what my stream looks like on a phone or anything. Okay, so this will let me test the idea of the ×2s. Oh, and I fixed this bug. So that's the other thing I can mess with. Yeah, okay, ×2 is going to make it so that you can get pretty far along with the scoring. No, you're off again. I thought I reset that. It wasn't like 0, was it? I'm glad I tested that. Or I could just not have it add the buttons. Because it is supposed to be more like a, I don't know, because it's weird, because I think it's fun to add the things to the... Well, and that's really what it was that I wanted to have a... one of the items I want to make is a spawn. So instead of having a button, this is just like a yellow spawn. You put that on the board, then when it rolls the buttons, it'll spawn a yellow button there. So instead of being buttons that you place here, it'll be, you can influence the outcome of the next spawn. I forgot, I need to add the button. No, that's not it either. Dadgummit. What was the flippin'... Okay, so it wasn't 0, but it also wasn't this. Was it just Z? Maybe this will help me figure out what the, No, that's the... I doubt it. Mouse position Z. That's not going to do anything, right? There is no Z mouse position, right? Yeah, X and left are... X is horizontal, Y is vertical for the mouse. Yeah, so X... yeah, I doubt you could see the mouse there. But yeah, X is horizontal, Y is vertical for the mouse, and then the X here for the board, Z here for the board. Or I guess, yeah, X is horizontal for the board, Z is, in this case, vertical for the board. And then Y I'm not messing with. Or, yeah, depth. Z is depth. So, there we go. Okay, so that's back to what I had it. Okay, so that means I just need to do... Wait, so that's the Z? So I don't need the one, because that was working. Oh, maybe that was why this was working when I had it at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so now instead we do times 0.66. Let's say like 2/3 or something. And then... Yeah, see, that's the secondary reason why I want to kill the stream before 8 o'clock so I can actually raid with one other person. So now I need to do the camera at 0 and 70 and then see if the 2/3 on the mouse Z. Or maybe do I need to do 2/3 after it's already done the thing? Yeah, we are using vectors, which are super common with the shaders. Oh, so yeah, okay, you are gonna lurk for 5 minutes? It thought about it. It feels closer. Okay, maybe I'm putting the... Oh. I'm not doing 2/3. I'm thinking it's 2/3, but no. I guess if 90 was 0, then 70 should be... And is it the mouse, or is it the position after the fact? I don't know how much that's gonna change it. This seems not it. Yeah, okay, there's the 8 o'clock ad too. Right as I'm like, okay, I should just call it quits and go to bed, and then here's the 8 o'clock ad. Sounds like a trig problem. Yeah, like I said, it's some kind of math problem that I... Dadgummit. Okay, what? Wait a second. No. Because that felt like it was messing up the X and the horizontal. I was like, the horizontal was no problem. That was not the issue. Okay, so go back to... The horizontal should be completely fine. So now you... Yeah, there we go. The horizontal's completely fine. It's just the vertical is slightly off. That's the, that's the frustrating thing, is that it's slightly off. Okay, so I multiplied after the fact. That is not the answer. So multiply before the fact. And then do like, I don't know. That's also not it. Okay, I'm just gonna push through the ad. I want to solve this bug. And that's the problem, is I always want to solve a bug right at 8 o'clock, right when I'm trying to go to bed. I get close to solving the bug. It's like, no, you're not gonna reach it. Okay, so that is giving me some information though. So that is saying, okay, now... So do I need to add more to it? And do like 120%? Yeah, chilling in ads. Yep. Okay, so now if I add some more to it... Oh, you look like you're... close? I think you're still moving. Yeah, that looks closer than that does. I don't think the number's correct, but... And then we add this. Nobody knows what they're doing. And that, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just that at this camera angle, I don't know how to translate between the mouse position and okay. It seems like too much with the Y. And then how off was this? Oh my goodness, it's not what I meant. This is going back to the, like, okay. Oh, I did the okay, wait. So because I did the 2/3 after the fact, right? And the 1/3 after the fact. So if I do the 2/3 before the fact and here, I think it's partially, I don't know how to articulate what the problem is in terms of well, now you can be wowed by the fact that I solved the problem during the ads and you missed it. And ta-da, all fixed. In terms of it's still broken. I don't know how to I don't know what I'm trying to do here. So maybe a third here. It's like I'm just like let's just sling some numbers. I don't know how to translate the problem with translation. It is a translation issue. It is not translating to the right spot. 10 million? There's a game called 10 million. Excuse me, there we go. I don't I don't know how to translate the position to the coordinates are not normalized. Or they might, I'm not exactly sure what screen to world position does. It just transforms a point from screen space into world space, where world space is defined as the coordinate system at the very top of your game's hierarchy. Okay, just out of curiosity, I go back to the 45-degree angle, of which I don't know where the board was located, so that's going to be off. And then I go back to this. Is this like a sine or a cosine thing? This sounds like it might be a sine or a cosine or a tangent kind of thing. So, what was that about the Z position of the camera? Well, this is the, so yeah, it is the Z position of the camera is the, or no, oh, that's the, okay, yeah, that's why I was getting confused about the Z position. It's the Z position of the point of wherever the, like, this is saying the mouse position, and then the, okay, let's just see it. I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm saying. I should go to bed. It's 8 o'clock. It is 2 in the morning. It is bedtime. It is not bug fixing time. Okay, 45-degree angle. That is consistent. It's in the wrong spot. It needs to be offset a little bit. But it's consistent at a 45-degree angle. Vector 3, the world space point created by converting the screen space point at the provided distance z from the camera plane. What z position are you providing? Yeah, okay, so this is the well, like I said, I'm using this camera.main.screen to world point, which just takes in the vector 3 position, being the mouse position. So, unless you were talking about the normalizing thing or whatnot, but this is feeling more like a sine kind of thing. I think I'm too tired. It's 8 o'clock. I should... It's just because I wanted to do a build. I wanted to print off a build so somebody else could be a... an optional Z can be passed... Oh, it has an overload. An optional Z can be passed in. Okay. For screen to world point. The mono or stereoscopic eye. I think it's kind of just a... mono, I guess? I'm not... It's not a... Yeah, but by default it's set to mono. Can be set to left or right for stereoscopic rendering. Oh. So it does work. It just seemed like the other day it was not muting. Weird. So yeah, this doesn't seem like a thing I want to be messing with. If it's talking about stereoscopic left or stereoscopic right, I don't think that's really what I need to be worried about here. Oh, you're saying the cam near clip plane? I don't know if that's... let's see, and I just need the Z there. Okay, yeah, let's just grab the whole thing. And this was what? Didn't know how to use Unity and only knows how to use RenPy, and here you are trying to use Unity and I mean, Unity does have some documentation you can mess with though, for sure. The fluffing heck is your issue? It's commented up perfectly fine, nothing else is... Why is color complaining? What are you... I didn't... Huh? Why did you just add this? Don't add that then. Oh, cam.nearClipPlane might have added that. I needed a vector 3 with mouse X, Y, and then the camera Z. Yeah, okay, but you're saying I need to do like this says. Although the instant I do this, this is going to cause the color to be different. So let's read the value of the mouse position. And then this is the camera. What's your issue? Oh, it's saying I need a specific camera. Oh, camera.main. Herder. There we go. Oh, the X didn't... I didn't need to mess with the X anyway. Okay. You're the wrong one to mess with. I wanted to mess with that. And then this. Wait, screen to world point. Yeah, okay, no, just this. That was the only... That was the only thing that needed to switch out. And you were perfectly fine. Okay, then here, I don't think I need the Y. Either that, or for what I'm messing with, I don't. You're passing in the mouse position as the camera Z. Oh, you're saying for this whole transform position here. Screen to world point. What's the issue? You're saying screen to world point, mouse X, mouse Y, camera Z, and I have Y as 0. This sure looks like it's mouse current position, read value Y. The vector 3 there. No, yeah, the 0 on line 43 is what I want. Like I said, it's just the Z value is the only issue. Which is why I was keeping this. The X is fine. The Y is fine. I don't want to move it on the Y. Because the button is fine on the Y position. I guess maybe visually it's not supposed to be like that, but... Yeah, okay, we're back to that. But if I do... See, the problem is I can't hit Control-Shift-P if I can't... Because I know that's how you can pause it, but... Oh, wait, Control-Shift-P? I can, there we go, okay. But if we go over to this button here, it lines up with the board. So this is why I had it at 0, is so that it actually lines up with the board when it's moving around. The Y is the screen Y? Well, okay. We could try your version here. It's just, these two things are working completely fine. It was just the Z that's the issue. But I can do, like what you're saying here instead. Instead of just putting this in Z. And do... Nope. You there. You there. Like that, except I need a new vector 3. There we go. Okay. Now you go away. There we go. The near clip plane was copied. Okay, not the Z. There we go. Okay. So now my very complicated version to just make that again. That's really all it was. So, near clip plane looks like it's a float. It is. But I think all of these are floats. Okay, but if I just take your version straight up. What does that do for this wrong camera angle? Because it's really the other camera angle that I really wanted to get it to work for and to test with. I have no clue where that is. It didn't just delete it, did it? It was like it was moving it somewhere. Okay, what I really wanted to do was test this anyway. Was it 3 or -3? Or not even related? Dang it, I didn't want to look at the sprites. I wanted to look at the... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. Thought that was it. Okay, so if I do that... Yeah, okay, the button clone there. Where are you? Yeah, okay, that. You are... I was gonna say, it's in... Yeah, I was gonna say, it's... Because it's doing the clip plane, it's putting it inside of the camera's... This UI layer here. Yeah, like I said, the issue is not... Because I have... I can also show you the other... Like the way I'm... Because I'm not... These are not UI buttons. I'm trying to take a UI button and translate it to the board. So like these UI buttons here are in a separate camera. So in this UI camera, there are a set of buttons. So like these are ginormous and inside of the board, but because they are in a separate camera, they appear correct. But yeah, what I'm trying to do is take the button that when you click it, it makes a button that would fit on the board to then put it on the board. Yeah, right now it's actually, you know, it's functioning correctly except for the fact that visually it does not look right. But yeah, this near clip plane, the reason I didn't want to mess with that is because that puts it essentially as a UI. It moves it to the front of the camera, like it moves it right inside of the camera so you can't actually see it when it's doing stuff. But I think it's like a mathf.sign kind of thing. This feels very much like a mathf.sign kind of thing. Or it feels like a sine or a cosine or a tangent kind of thing. What's the Z of the board? That's the issue. That's what we're trying to figure out. I figured out the X and Y because that maps directly with the mouse and the board. And then the Y, like I said, is 0 because it's not moving, you know, along that green arrow. It's not moving up and down that way. But it's the Z here. It's that when you're moving it, because the camera's at an awkward angle. Because like when it's straight up and down, it's fine. When it's at a 45-degree angle, that's where I was adding the Y. Like I said, this has got to be like a mathf. Dot sign. Something like that. It's got to be one of these where you translate the value. And I probably don't want to do that. I don't want to put it... Oh, that's enough. That's enough thingamabobs? Okay. And then I don't actually think I want it... Do I want it to be the Y value? Do I want it to be sine? Do I want it to be cosine? I have forgotten any of that geometry stuff. Which is a bummer, because I like geometry. Calc was one of those ones I never fully learned. Like calc, the teacher knew how to do calc, and then didn't really know how to teach it. So then I was just in the tutor every day, and then still, I worked really hard to get a C. It was like my first time getting a lower grade. and worked hard to get that. Okay, so sine is not it. I doubt cosine's it, but we'll try that too. Oh, no, screen to world point. This is after it's already translated the mouse position. So Z, not Y. Let's do the Z then. When do you think I stream from 6 to 8 Eastern every day of the week. Weekends I tend to get lazy. Well, weekends I tend to get busy with other stuff, or I get lazy with recovering from a week of work and stuff. So, but yeah, I stream 6 to 8 Eastern every day of the week at this point. I should probably... that's wild AF. It's neat. That's not what I want either. So maybe it's not a sine or a cosine or a tangent. Well, again, or maybe I'm using the wrong variable, but if I stream tomorrow, I might be able to raid you. Well, this is the thing. It's like I know I should stream, not should, but it's like if I want viewers, the best time to stream would be like a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and that's always like I'm getting my laundry started, and I'm like, there's an opportunity there. It's like the laundry needs to finish, and yet, well, now you're convincing me that maybe I should go to bed so that I can get up and stream early tomorrow morning. Yeah, because I got some stuff. I got a little bit of stuff done on Thanksgiving, so I don't have it too busy of a weekend. I do need to get groceries at some point, but that's the only major task. So, who are we rating? Is there anybody else here, though? Because if it's only the two of us, I like to raid when there's at least 3 people. Two people just feels like it's not enough. And I know, or at least Phil should have gone to bed. And I don't think Brainoid was around. But it's saying 2 right now. And then I think once it updates enough to say that I'm here watching my own stream, it should say 3. Yeah, because I have the number of people in the stream disabled. Oh, 4! Okay. There's 2 of me that suddenly showed up. It's weird that it takes... it takes a bit for it to... No, I don't... It's not... I'm just now realizing, wait a second, they probably just make it so that it doesn't update all the time. Yep. There's the 8 o'clock yawn, or in this case, the 8:30 yawn. Time to go to bed. Who's... I want to play Kingdoms of the Dump, too. It's like, oh man, it just came out, and that's cool. Did I raid Adagon the other day? I was watching Adagon stream the other day, and I don't recall if I raided there. I raided there, I think. There's people playing Peak. Peak is, in fact, Peak. Peak is fantastic. I was gonna say, there's some game devs who are not doing game dev. Paper robot game, not the other... Oh, there's some pixel art game dev. I don't even recall. Yeah, I was gonna say, Scary Pastry also does game dev, but not right now, it seems. Let's see what Dobworks is up to. Oh, yeah, this is the very Paper Mario inspired game. I recall this. I don't recall the name of it, but I do recall this. Okie dokie. Well, we can go right over here. Pixel art? Are you excited about pixel art? Yeah, it looked like somebody was doing... Some kind of pixel art, something or other. Echoes of Pestilence. I mean, we could go right over here if you're excited about pixel art. Let's see what they're up to. I have not messed with pixel art in a while. It's been something I want to get back to at some point, but hasn't happened in a while.
Probably need one for the
Yeah, we can go over here if that is
layout.
what you're interested in.
Right, so anything that I need for the art.
I was like, I don't know how many times I've rated over here. I don't even, this is somebody I haven't seen in quite a while.
Let's go.
Let's see if I'm even following on Blue Sky.
Here, so like
Yep,
anything,
nope.
numbers.
I always have to check because Blue Sky is so new that I'm like, yep, I have not followed. Yeah, okay, but I am following some of these other things here.
And then I need one specific for tasks. Man, doing this
Okie dokie.
might suck.
I always forget. It's like you can wait a little bit. You can hit the raid button and then.
That's gonna. Be
Okay.
bad.
Oh, not lurkers. Okay, one of the lurkers was probably me. So. Well, I want to be streaming tomorrow morning, but we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. Like I said, I don't have too much going on this weekend, so hopefully I can do some more game dev and like fix this bug and just get some stuff done. But we'll see. It'll also be tempting to play some Borderlands 4 because I want to finish that Dumb Dad Blasted game. But like I said, I don't have too much going on. No promises. But hopefully I can stream a little bit this weekend. We shall see. Because I know there's also Third Shift that streams on the weekend, and I always get tempted to just watch some Death Stranding or some other AAA game. So, okay. I will be back. At any rate, I will be back on Monday with some more game dev. I don't think I have anything going on. But yeah, I should be back on Monday. I don't really want to look at my calendar right yet, but okay. Let's go do this before the raid runs out. Goodbye, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun sleeping. Bye.
Matt, I can see why I didn't do this the first time.
Also, bye.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How did you get 7? Like, how big are they? Gnomeable, welcome in. How's your stream? Ribbon, welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. Hopefully I said your username right. You guys do. Hello, if you don't know who I am, got some good game dev done? Let's go! Fuck yeah, what engine do you use? You're new here, at least to me you're new. If any of you don't know who I am, hi, my name's Chapel Ender JB. I am trying to become more of a streamer and making a schedule, kind of distracted. But I mostly just do pixel art. I do a lot of game development. In pixels, I use Unreal Engine. I did struggle with a camera bug at the end. Honestly, that's felt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine, but that feels too cluttered. Yeah, I mostly just do a lot of animations, like the animation you see here on the left. This is my player character here. You embody a plague doctor in a world filled with plague that's transformed people and other creatures into grotesque vermin. Right now, I am... Hold on.